It's coffee chat time, your weekly Wednesday coffee chat with me, Catherine Oster. Hi. So, while I wait for some people to come live, um, I'm Catherine Oster, if you didn't know that, and I am a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness. I am also a mother, a wife. I have two kids. I'm going to talk about them today in regards to parenting. My son Trace is almost 10. He'll be 10 on April 27th. And my daughter Helena is just turned 7 on March 1st. And hi, Juanita. How are you today? And so every week I do this coffee chat. And if you're on my email list, I will send you an email and I'll let you know what time it's happening. For the most part, I try to keep it on Wednesdays at 1, but as life goes, sometimes it's just easy to change it. And so I give you a heads up when coffee chat is happening. And I'll also ask you if you have any questions or topic suggestions, things that you want more information on, whatever I can contribute to you. I'm happy to talk about anything. And so I did get an email from a lady, for this week's coffee chat, and she said, "Hey, Catherine, sometime as a topic, would you please talk about your parenting experiences with Access? How to parent and be an allowance?" And she says, "I have 3 kids, and sibling rivalry has always been an issue." All right. So everything, and um, I'm going to use the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement today. And it's just these really weird group of words that sound ridiculous that actually will energetically change any stuck energy. You do not have to understand them. You can play with this as much as you would like. And after I'm done the video, in the top part of the video description, I'll put a link to the clearing statement. If you would like more information about it, you can go there. So everything that is, will you destroy it and create it all? There's a lot of energy there. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Where do I want to start with this? So, Darla, was Darla who sent in the question for me. Um, how many points of view do you have? Like, what does it mean to you that your kids should get along? And everything that is, will you destroy it and create it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Hey, Bobby. And how many, like, does it mean that you're a good mom if your kids get along? And everything that is, will you destroy and create it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Um, Interesting point of view is a tool that is amazing because if you actually don't have a point of view about it, it's going to start happening less. Or how much do your kids like do that? Hey, mom, how much do your kids fight with each other to control you and to piss you off? And then, they entertain themselves with that. So everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and create it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. That's the funny words, the clearing statement. Now, sometimes, Darla, we choose our families and our relationships based on past lifetimes and energies from past lifetimes. So one tool that can be really helpful is to clear like any oaths and vows that you have with your kids and that your kids have with each other. Now, I found that running that clearing really created a lot of space for me with my husband, for me with my kids, for me with my parents. We also farm with my brother-in-law and his wife. So I ran that clearing between the two brothers, like Jed and Travis, my husband and his brother. Like I just ran the clearing, like all of the oaths and vows that Jed and Travis have with each other from all past lifetimes, spaces, dimensions, realities, blah, blah, blah. Um, so I will run a few of those clearings now. And Darla, if you're listening to this, you can write it down and you can just run that clearing between you and each kid. You said you have 3 kids. So between me and my first kid, just say their name. Between me and my second one, between me and my third one, and that they also have between the first and the second one, that they have between each other. And just record it on a loop. And if you do not know how to make a recording loop, message me or email me back and I will tell you how to do that. Because having that loop play on low volume all day long and all night long will just really start peeling away that layers of energy. And it can start to take away, it'll start to change that place where the kids need to fight with each other and where you need to fight with them and where they're annoying you and all of that. So the clearing is this. So all of the oaths, vows, commitments, contracts, promises, obligations, communalities, and fealties that I have with Trace, or insert your son's name, from all past lifetimes, spaces, dimensions, realities, universes, I now revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all of them times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boy, and beyond. Hello, Rabia. And so I will also type that clearing in the description of this video for you and for anybody else that is looking for that. And so again, and then all of the oaths, vows, commitments, contracts, promises, obligations, communalities, fealties, and anything I haven't mentioned that I have with my husband, that you all have with your spouses, will you now, from all past lifetimes, spaces, dimensions, realities, universes, will you now revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all of them times a godzillion? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And I know that sounds like really weird, but it just clears a lot of energy and it clears a lot of that fight and that annoyance and that defending and that blah. And it just creates way much more space for them to actually make another choice. So the first thing, clearing oaths and vows from past lifetimes. Run that clearing. Make a loop of it, put it on low volume, playing it all night long and all day long in your house. And after a month, I wonder what will change. You don't even have to have a conversation with them about it because I don't talk to Travis about this stuff. You can just have that clearing run. And let me tell you, him and his brother have fight like way, like they actually have real conversations. They don't just go to like fighting each other all the time. And same with my kids, like Trace and Helena, so they're 7 and 10. So they still, for the most part, they get along fairly good. But you know, sometimes they're getting to annoy each other more now. And I think also they're just getting tired of winter and being in close quarters together. But like the other day, I was driving them to Lloyd, and we do swimming lessons in Lloydminster twice a week for the month of March. Plus, we're also going in for Helena's gymnastics and Trace's archery. So we're driving back and forth a lot in March to Lloyd for their activities. And they were bickering in the back seat of the truck. Trace was doing something to piss off Helena. He put his drink in the wrong cup holder or something like that. And they were just at it with each other. And I just turned around and I actually think I stopped the truck. I pulled over on the side of the road, stopped the truck. I turned around and I said, "You guys, look at this. This is not very good. I do not like you guys being like this with each other." And I said, "The only reason I'm driving you to Lloyd right now," actually, no, I asked them the question. I said, "Why are we going to Lloyd right now?" And they're like, and they knew they were in trouble. So they're like, "For swimming lessons?" And I'm like, "Is that something for mom or is that something for you guys?" "For us." And I'm like, "Okay, so I'm taking time to take you guys to swimming lessons. Now, what I would like from you is to get along in the back seat and quit bickering with each other. Just stop it, or I will not be taking you to swimming lessons." And then that just ended it. But I also did it from the energy. Like, they know that when I say something, I usually mean it. Not usually, I do mean it. Now, if they had continued to fight, I probably would have made them miss a day of swimming lessons. And I did it from that, like, they know that I won't take them. And I actually would be okay with them missing it because that does not work for me. It doesn't work for me when you fight in the back seat. Get over it. Or one of you, we're not doing this, or whatever, you know? But always from day one, from when they were little, when I said no about something, I never went back on it, no matter how much of a temper tantrum they threw, no matter how much they screamed at me. I just, I guess maybe I have an ability to just ignore that, and they know. They know. And maybe because I'm a horse trainer, maybe that's where I built the muscle um, of just not having a point of view or allowing their reactions to control me. So yeah, so just that. So laying it out just like that. And not breaking down and letting and giving in. Like I was always like, what's the worst that they're going to do? They're not going to talk to me for a couple weeks because they're mad or they're going to cry. Okay, if you need to have a temper tantrum, then you can go and have it in the bathroom with the door closed or in your room. Um, Go do what you need to do. I'm going to be over here doing what I'm doing, whatever, So it's acknowledging that kids are really smart too, and they know if they can manipulate you some way with their tears or with their screaming, then they will. But if they know that they can't, and they won't. Now, taking it with the context of horse training, if I get a horse from somebody who's let that horse run over them and do whatever they want to, it is a lot of work for me to get that horse to respect people again and to respect my space. I have to be very present and on it all of the time, and I have to be very consistent in not letting that horse bump into me or run me over. And it can be kind of exhausting in the beginning. But yeah, if you stick with it, then they'll eventually know that you they're not going to mess with you. They're not going to control you anymore. And so, yeah. So that. Okay, so there's interesting point of view, oaths and vows, and really being clear about what works for you and being that demanding energy that this is my life, this is my house. Yes, you are my kids and I will look after you, but I also need something from you. Okay. And oh man, I did an interesting point of view 30-day challenge last month, and there was a lot of teenager. Like, I don't have teenagers yet, so I don't really know what it's like, but like Maggie and Leanne, they have been, they were both in the challenge, and they talked about their teenagers, and so if you want more information about them, and I know they changed a lot with their teenagers and how they were with them throughout that challenge. So let me know if you would like more information and I can connect you with either of those ladies. They are brilliant. Another thing is, like, what do you know about parenting that's not this reality? Because there's the what you should be doing, what have you defined that being a parent is, that maybe it's not really, that if you would allow yourself to be undefined as a parent would give you way more ease with your kids. What have you defined being a parent as, that it's not really, that if you could go beyond the definition and become an undefined parent would give you way more ease with it. Um, my brother-in-law and his wife, they also have teenage kids right now, and I was talking with him about their kids this morning, and he's also feeling very frustrated. And he just said to me, he's like, "Well, I'm not here to be their friend." I'm like, right. I'm like, so what is parenting then? Parenting, in my point of view, is showing your kids how to make choices in life, being an example, showing them how to choose and what their choices is going to create for them, because that is life. It's choosing and then facing the consequences of each of those choices. Now, so if they choose to steal from a store, I mean, that has consequences. Or if they choose to offer services for money, well, those are their consequences differently. They're not bad. I mean, they get money from working. So what it's trying to teach them what their choice makes. Um, are your kids bored? Do they need to be, are they entertaining themselves with trauma and drama and driving you crazy as a way of entertainment? Um, yeah, so with Trace and Helena, like that's why I asked them the question, where are we going here? And I got them to acknowledge why we were going to the city and that I am taking them for their thing, not for me. I'm doing this so you can learn how to swim and have swimming lessons. So now I need something from you in return, and that is not to fight in the back seat when we're driving, or at all, actually. And so they got it. I didn't yell at them and tell them that they were wrong and to shut up and, whatever, to quit it, or we're not going, those. I just said, hey, this is what's going on. This doesn't work for me. This needs to change. And I was tried to be really clear with that. Um, oh yeah, and about teaching your kids what the choices are. So not telling them what to do and not telling them what they should do, but telling them what their choice will create. So Gary talks about that in one of the Access Foundation classes. I think it was a foundation. So Access Consciousness, for those of you, is just this whole body of work that invites you, empowers you to create and change things in your life through conscious choices. So Gary says with kids, so now you're not going to let a kid touch the hot stove, right? You're not just going to let them, but you can give them the information. So you can tell your kid, hey, the stove is hot. If you touch it, it will burn your hand and it will hurt. So giving them the information of what that choice will create for them. Rather than versus saying, don't touch the stove. Don't touch the stove. You can't touch the stove. You're not really empowering them that they have a choice, and you're not giving them the information of what their choice will create. So it's just really being conscious about the information you're giving your kids and delivering it to them in a way that they understand. So a 5-year-old kid is going to require different words than a 3-year-old, and a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old. So it's also being in the question of, okay, what's required to change this? And that's something you can ask yourself. What's required to change this? This doesn't work for me anymore. What's required to change this? All right. Thank you for sending in the question, Darla. And hi, Sasha. And for those of you that just joined, I would invite you to watch this video again from the start. I talked about a lot of different things. And that is what I love about Access is just the different conversations and looking at things in life from a totally different way than I've ever considered before. And looking at it from those ways has totally invited me to look at and change things differently. So anyway, have an amazing rest of your day, you guys, and thank you so much for joining me. And bye-bye for now.